The Ukrainian army has just entered Russian territory to execute their version of special military operation. The strategic significance of this move is profound. Today, I highlight 3 points. First, Russia has reiterated that its pre-2014 territory is the red line. Some officials even threatened the use of nuclear weapons if Ukraine attacks Russian territory. Russia has not ruled out direct attacks on NATO if Ukraine used NATO weapons to attack Russia either. This time, Ukrainians directly used NATO weapons to invade Russia. This puts a lot of pressure on the Russian government. It risks degrading the prestige of Russian military and the Russian government if not responded to properly. It may even lay the groundwork for future direct military intervention of neighboring Eastern European countries. The longer the Ukrainians stay in Russia and the deeper they penetrate, the more negative it is for the Russians. Pressure can mount over time, both domestically and diplomatically. Second, the fact that Ukrainians could more or less just walk into Russia means that the Russians have not deployed enough personnel to protect its long border with Ukraine, the country it is at war with. It is conceivable that border protection is even weaker along its NATO borders. This will force Russia to redeploy significant forces to protect its borders, not just alongside that with Ukraine, but also its NATO borders. And this will pull strength from its attacks in eastern Ukraine, and it will put Ukraine in a better position in peace talks, or at least it will prolong the war. Third, Russia will conceivably attack Ukrainian civilian infrastructure in response, but this will further distance Ukrainians from the Russians. The chief goal of Russia's SMO was to prevent Ukraine from falling into the quote-unquote enemy camp, or basically just the Western alliance. Even if the Ukrainians initially only hope to join the EU one day and have a better life, even if initially they didn't hate the Russians, after 2.5 years of increasingly bitter warfare, they probably don't want anything to do with Russians anymore, even if they cannot join the EU or have a better life. In other words, the best that the Russians can hope for is to annex Ukrainian territory and maybe survive until NATO implodes, which may or may not happen. However, even without NATO, the entire Eastern Europe from Finland to Ukraine will be anti-Russian, and this will be a source of trouble for Russia for decades to come.